Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yuri Arman Kemp, here from sunny island in Nassau, Bahamas. It is now 8:33 in the evening on a Friday evening, September 22nd. And I thank you for joining us again. So please, if you have not done so, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. That's LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. And also, if you have not done so, there's a donate link inside the description. So please, anything that moves your heart to give to the LimeVibe Live podcast, we would greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much for joining us again. I know we were off on Wednesday and Monday. We had some technical challenges on Monday and Wednesday, actually. We told you we weren't coming back on Wednesday, but Monday, we had some problems. We couldn't get onto the show on time. We were scrambling from class trying to get in. We just didn't have enough time to get into the show. So I apologize. And we may have to cancel Monday night show as well. May only have to do this for one day only a week. These classes are really killing me this year, man. I get out at 8 o'clock, and so it takes me a while to get back from class to here. So please bear with me. Bear with me through this journey as we try to build up the LimeVibe Live podcast, and I try to balance my social life and my work life. Okay? So thank you for joining us again. Please like, share, and subscribe to LimeVibe Live. LimeVibe77 and LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. 1 second. My camera is buzzing out on me again, so please give me 1 second. Sorry. Let's give this a chance here. All right. No, it's not settled. I gotta settle this. 1 second, people. I hope you guys don't mind my unprofessionalism, right? I just had to sort it out myself. I couldn't really ask my producer. She's kind of upset with me right now, so I have to do this all on my own, okay? So thank you for joining me again, like how I said, and we look forward to having you for a good discussion. We have a few things we want to talk about tonight. A few things. First of all, I don't know if you realize, but the United Nations General Assembly, the 78th United Nations General Assembly is going on right now in New York City. And Mia Motley is over there kicking up a storm, as she should. All right, she's kicking up a storm, calling these international financial institutions, right? He's calling them out with regard to not reforming their lending practices to developing countries, like in the Caribbean, small developing states, particularly in light of climate change. Okay, and she said she doesn't know why they just can't, first of all, pick up speed and pick up more skill with regard to understanding what the challenges are for some of these developing states. Okay. She said, and she called them out for dismissing developing nations on funding reforms to these international financial agencies like the IMF, the World Bank, et cetera, right? And she said it's criminal what they've been doing to developing countries, right? It's criminal because they're wanting the repayment of millions of dollars worth of loans in such a short space of time, knowing that these developing states have a small, tight fiscal space, okay? So you're lending them millions of dollars, and you know they can't pay you back within 10 to 15 years. So first of all, she's calling for an extension of those loan maturities up to 40 years, if anything, at minimum 40 years. She also said that they should be more flexible in their lending options, change some of the rates, as well as change some of the approaches to how they lend money and to where they lend the money to, particularly in light of climate change and all the destruction that climate change has wrought on these developing island states, right? So if you would go and listen to her speech and listen to her interview at the UNGA 78 conference, you will see exactly what we're talking about. But if you go to Caribbean Magazine Plus, you will see her speech in full, not in full, but you'll see some excerpts from her speech. You'll see Mia Motley at the UNGA 78, and she asked for developing countries to pick up speed and skill in dealing with developing nations. And she calls them tone deaf. But I had a feeling I was going to get to this right. I had a feeling she was going to come to a point of frustration. We're talking to these large agencies, and these large countries would have get kind of tiresome on them, because only so much you could really talk to them. And only so much they would really want to listen to a black female from the Caribbean. Okay, yeah, she's a bright, smart woman, but there's only so much they really will listen to her because first of all, you have to take arrogance into consideration as well. Like, who the hell is Mia Malty telling us what to do? Doesn't she realize we've been working on this for the past 20, 30, 50 years? Doesn't she realize that we're the experts and she's just a Johnny come lately brand new politician on the scene? We've been doing this for years. So why should we listen to Mia Malty? Yes, it happens. It happens at all levels. Where that cognitive dissonance, that arrogance pervades anyone. It doesn't matter the color, race, or creed. And secondly, what I think she's discounting as well, she thinks that they understand what she's talking about. She thinks that they understand clearly what she's talking about. They may not even have a clue what Mia Motley's talking about when it comes down to reforming the IMF and the World Bank and how developed countries approach developing nations. They don't have an idea, the first foggiest notion of what she's talking about. Just now, we're trying to pick up on what she's talking about right now. We understand that, they have not tailor-made some of these financial options to developing nations because of climate change. We realize that there's some climate mitigation strategy that need to be put into some of these loan agreements. And we also understand that, asking a small country like Barbados to repay a $20 million loan back in 10 to 15 years really is criminal. They don't have that kind of money to pay you back in 10, 15 years. Let's get serious now, man. So if we want to help people, if we want to help developing nations like how the IMF and the World Bank said they want to, then help them and help them where they are. Now, I know there's only certain things with regard to financial principles you should change from with regard to how you lend money, but still, there should be some flexibility in there for developing nations. And I encourage Mia Molly to keep up on it. Now she's realizing what all the other leaders before her was struggling with. Mine, it may not be as detailed as her, it may not be as articulate as her, and focus as her on this particular issue of lending to developing nations. But nonetheless, they've been talking to these agencies for years now. And there's a lack of respect and a lack of understanding on their part so that they can actually appreciate what the challenges are. So yes, we encourage her to keep on pushing through, man. And she's at the UN GA78 this year, and all the other Caribbean leaders are there as well. So if you just want to pop, it's going to be going on between when? Between September 18th to September 26th. It's going on right now, actually. So it's going to go until next week, Wednesday, I think. Next week, Tuesday. And so yeah, go listen to it, man. Look into it and see what you see. See if you can see your particular leader there, right? Now, the week before that, they had this G77 plus China meeting in Cuba, Havana, Cuba. And we had the CARICOM chair, Roosevelt Skerritt, the Prime Minister of Dominica, talking about we need regional participation in science and technology. First of all, I didn't even have a clue there was a G77 plus China grouping. But in Havana, Cuba, there was the United Nations General Secretary General there, as with Gutierrez, United Nations Secretary General. Let me see what Secretary General. Yeah, but Antonio Gutierrez, he was there in Havana last week, talking to the G77 plus China. That's most of the developing countries plus China, at the seat at the table, talking about some of the challenges they face as developing nations going up against the G7 and the G8 countries, developed countries. And so we had Roosevelt Skerritt there talking about, participation in science and technology, which we need. We need that participation in science and technology because we can develop these island states without having STEM at the forefront. It's no secret that we're for sun, sand, and sea tourism fine, however, but there's a critical component missing from our development matrix, and that is the STEM. That is the science and technology and mathematics, engineering and mathematics. We can't build a country without them. We can't build these nations without them. We need science and engineering at almost every level. And so Roosevelt Skerritt wants participation in this. And I can appreciate that because we need that. That's one of the critical things missing from our development matrix. He didn't say much more than that, but I think it's important. I think it's important. So yeah, and I didn't even know there was a G77 grouping. That was news to me when I saw it last week. I said, what, they have a G77 grouping? Why? Then I said, oh, it's a grouping of all the other developing nations. Oh, okay, I got you. All right, fair enough. If I get to the G7 and the G7 countries can meet, and the G8, they can meet and talk about the rest of us. The rest of us can meet and talk about them. It is what it is. Everyone wants to have a meeting. I guess it was a good time in Havana, Cuba. I haven't visited Cuba yet. I want to visit Cuba. Apparently, it's not that expensive to go there, and I'm not barred from going there. I would like to visit Cuba one time. Let me put it on my bucket list for next year. Visit Cuba. I also want to visit Puerto Rico as well. I heard Puerto Rico is a beautiful country, much like the Dominican Republic, only Americanized. So Puerto Rico and Cuba, I want to visit my Spanish-speaking Caribbean countries. I'm coming there next year. Cuba's going to be my first stop. I want to see all those beautiful old architecture and those beautiful cars. Those cars from 1950 that they keep on restoring. I want to see them. I want to see all the historic sites, man. Go visit the Bay of Pigs as well. And I want to see everything in Cuba. But yeah, Roosevelt Scarab was there, and he encouraged those countries to come together on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the STEM. We can't build a region without it, man. And it's important, all right? It's important. So other things going on in the region. Oh, I spoke to the Commonwealth Secretariat's Short Story Prize winner, Kwame McPherson, Jamaican Kwame McPherson. I spoke to him, and he said he's going to Buckingham Palace. He's going to Buckingham Palace to meet with the Queen Consort, Camilla. All right. He's going to talk about his historic win for the Commonwealth Short Story Prize competition in 2023 this year. And he's going to talk about how we could develop, reading and writing and writing in particular in the Caribbean and the rest of the Commonwealth. It's very important that he goes there because he's been honing his craft for the past 30 plus years now. He's won other prizes, but he said that this Commonwealth Short Story Prize is the most prestigious one because it's the longest running one, and it's one of the most pronounced ones. That has not gone down. Everyone wants to be a part of the Commonwealth Short Story Commonwealth Short Story Prize competition, sorry. And so he's going to talk to the royals and see how your talent just makes room for you. Your talent makes room for you. Your talent puts you in a place in front of kings and queens and royalty and people who actually can make some things happen. He was living in the UK for several years before he moved back to Jamaica, and he never once even sniffed Buckingham Palace. But now he's going to have a chance to sit and talk with the Queen Consort, Camilla Bowles, and the royal family. Congratulations to Kwame McPherson. Congratulations to Kwame McPherson, my friend. I call him my friend. I met him by chance, and I'm glad to call him my friend. So yes, I hope he gives us the full-blown details of what he saw inside Buckingham Palace and what he spoke to the Queen Consort about. That would be great. I lived in London for a while as well. I walked past Buckingham Palace, but I never had a chance to actually go in there and meet it and schedule a trip inside. I should. There were so many things I did not do when I was in the UK. I didn't visit Scotland. I could have visited Ireland. I chose not to. I didn't even visit Wales. I didn't move much past London, which was a great regret. Financials really, capped me. I didn't have a chance to go and take a train or take a short plane ride or drive up to the countryside. And I should have. I should have seen how the rest of England really lives. I didn't have a chance to. I would have enjoyed Scotland, I think. I would have enjoyed Ireland. I didn't move much past, school and home and my dorm. And I really wish I did. I didn't appreciate it when I was there. And I wish I had a chance to go back there and take a look at it again. London is a beautiful country, man. No, London is a beautiful city story. It's a beautiful city. Metropolitan. You have Indians, you have Pakistanis, you have Nigerians, you have Ghanaians, you have Jamaicans, you have Bahamians, you have Barbadians, you have Guyanese, you have Italians, you have Spanish, you have French. You have every nationality packed right there in London City. Everything right there. Japanese, Thai, everybody right there. And they said that, the sun never set on the British Empire. And, I guess you could say that there's not one nationality that's not represented inside the British Empire at one particular point in time. You could roughly say that. You can say that. They had China for a while. They gave back Hong Kong to the Chinese back in the 1990s. Okay, because I think they saw China getting too strong for them. They were going to be kicked out in any event. So they gave back Hong Kong. And even in some of the laws, and even in some of the court cases, you could go back to a court case. They still have court cases from the common law courts that were based in Hong Kong, that went to the Privy Council in the United Kingdom, where the United Kingdom really was adjudicating law in Hong Kong. So yes, it was up until the 1990s they gave back Hong Kong. I visited China as well too, actually. I didn't have a chance to go to Hong Kong. That was one place I would wanted to have gone. We went to a lot of different. We went to Shanghai. We went to Beijing. We went to Wuhan. We went to Wuhan where we saw the industrial city in Wuhan. We didn't go there during the COVID-19 virus. Okay, we went there way before that. I went there in 2010. Okay, and I also went to this port city called Xiamen. It's like a tourist city. Beautiful port city, man. Beautiful beaches. Beautiful port. It looks like a real island city, but it's on the coast of China. Also went to Taiwan as well too, actually. Went to Taiwan too. Taiwan is more peaceful than Beijing. The people in China, mainland China, are kind of uptight because they're communists, right? But the people in Taiwan, they're more relaxed and more lucid because it's a democracy. So I could see why they're kicking and fussing from being taken over by mainland China again. They don't want to go back into communism. They love their freedom and democracy, and they should keep that. I think that the United States should continually support Taiwan's independence, even though it matches the United States' strategic interests. But, I've seen the difference in Taiwan and China. I've seen the difference, okay? They're the same Chinese people, but their actions and their mannerisms are a lot different. It's a lot more peaceful in Taiwan. People aren't so uptight, and they're not so stressed. They're more welcoming to foreigners and guests. Mainland China, not so much. Okay, and mind you, they're nice people, mind you, but I felt a bit more comfortable and at ease in Taiwan. I have to say, there's a difference between democracy and communism. And while I was over in China, they destroyed my luggage twice. They ripped up my luggage twice, looking for, I don't know, contraband. I don't know what the hell they were looking for. They ripped up my luggage twice. I had to buy new luggage twice in China, mainland China. My hosts were wonderful, actually. I was on a diplomatic tour there for 10 days. The hosts were wonderful, actually. And they apologized to me. They told me where I could find new luggage. But they tore up my luggage, man. They took the knife to it, just carved it right up. I think it was kind of like intimidation too. But anyway, it is what it is. I really enjoy my time in China and Taiwan. I enjoy my time in Taiwan and China, actually. I'll go back there at any given point in time. But hopefully don't tear up my luggage the next time when I go to mainland China. So, yeah. How do we stray away from calling him a person, my friend? Yeah, he won the 2023 short story competition for the Commonwealth Secretariat, and his story was Okokie. Okokie is a Florida town that experienced racial violence back in, what year was that? Let's see. It was destroyed by racial tensions back in the Okokie massacre back in 1920. Okay, 2 black men attempted to vote and encouraged other black people to vote, and that in turn, they were attacked by members of the Ku Klux Klan, and so that was a thriving black community in Okokie. And he wrote a short story based on the Okokie massacre. So I guess I probably pricked the readers, the evaluators' conscience. They saw the content. I didn't read the story myself as well. I didn't have a chance to read it, but he told me what it was about. And so I just want to say congratulations to Kwame again. And please give Queen Consort LimeVibe's warmest, deepest sympathies and regards. Tell her we appreciate what they're doing for the Commonwealth. And we hope that, King Charles reigns for a long time. He's our king because the Bahamas is still, and Jamaica is still under the British crown. We're independent states, but the King Charles is still our head of state. We're not Barbados yet. We didn't kick out the royalties yet. And I don't think we should. They're not doing us anything. They're not doing us anything at all. I think we should keep King Charles as the head of state. I don't think only ego would cause you to want to, remove the British monarchy as the head of state here. Only, ego. It's nothing much is really going to change. We're already running this country as it is right now. There's nothing going to change if we were to go fully independent. Not one thing that's going to change. What may change, though, is that we may not have access to all of the luxuries that comes with the United Kingdom. Like, for example, being able to take our cases to the Privy Council. They may want us to now start to use the Caribbean Court of Justice, which is still kind of in its, it's not really in infancy, but it's still kind of in its development stages. And, and with most things at the early stages, it's prone to, the little quirks and little kinks and the corruption and being dominated by the stronger forces within the Caribbean. So I think we should just hold off on that, hold off on independence, hold off on the Caribbean Court of Justice as well, too, until they get all the issues sorted out. And there's a greater consensus about using the Caribbean Court of Justice, because not every Caribbean country is a part of that. The Bahamas is not a part of the Caribbean Court of Justice. And I think we said clearly that we don't want to be a part of it. We want to continue on with the Privy Council. But if we were to move away from the British monarchy as the head of state, that may bring some challenge with regard to some of our court cases, because we are in a common law system here in the Bahamas. That means all of our cases is really based on English law. And even now, if there's not a relevant law to a particular matter that's here in the Bahamas, we refer to established British law and their statutes. And that would stand in the Bahamas. That's just the way it is. Okay. And so if we were to miss all of that, then, we really would be ruddering out there on our own. I don't think we're ready for that yet. We just gained independence in 1976. And there's still a lot of things that needs to shake out here in the Bahamas too. There's some people from my generation that still needs to get over to the top as well. And I don't think going independent is going to help my cause in any particular form or fashion. All right. We have not established the elites the way they should. We have a lot of snooty people that got some money, but we have not really established any particular core elites here in the country that we can say, they can keep this country stable. And they have the respect from people around the world that if something were to happen here in the Bahamas, they could call on them. People will come here because we're still a part of the British Commonwealth. We're still a part of the British Crown. But I don't think anyone would come here because, so-and-so, John Smith in Baintown, who lives now in Winton Meadows, they're going to come here for him. That's just my take. That's just the way I see things, all right? And speaking of other things, running our own business, take, for example, this FTX debacle. Why are we getting over that? However, you still have people still wanting to come to the Bahamas because they want to show off and they want to be a part of our cryptocurrency regime we have here. We have this legislation called the DARE Act, the Digital Assets and Registered Exchanges Act, called the DARE Act. And a lot of companies now, they're registering under the DARE Act, and they want to run their cryptocurrency organizations from it. So we have this big D3 conference in October, hosted by us and organized by this cryptocurrency grouping called FinoServe. And they're going to come in mid-October. And first of all, their push is not to really talk about cryptocurrency. And that's how I think we got things wrong here. We think that cryptocurrency is something by itself. No, it's not. Cryptocurrency is only a part of the blockchain technology. Okay? People keep getting that mixed up. It's a part of the blockchain technology. And so this FinoServe, this cryptocurrency conference is going to happen in October. The D3 conference, they're going to talk about blockchain in particular, the actual system that underpins cryptocurrency. And I think we keep on stepping away from the blockchain technology, because when I started dabbling into cryptocurrency as well, before I found that I needed a whole lot of internet bandwidth and really up-to-date computers to really start building my own blockchain technology, building my own blockchain here, right? I realized that, hey, it's not the cryptocurrency, it's the blockchain really that's important. It's the blockchain. And, because we're so greedy, we jumped on the first bandwagon, oh, cryptocurrency, tokens, oh, we're going to be selling cryptocurrency and have these cryptocurrency exchanges, oh, we see money. But you don't realize that there's an actual technology that upholds cryptocurrency, which is the blockchain. And we have to first understand the blockchain. So that's what this conference is coming here to do. It's going to bring a lot of players from the cryptocurrency market from around the world, from Hong Kong to India, to the United States, to Canada. They're going to talk about how do we develop blockchain in particular. And that's important. I think that really needs to sink into the minds of the developers of any kind of cryptocurrency regime within any country. Understand that there's blockchain technology, not just cryptocurrency. And also, I had the blessing to talk to some South Korean journalists from the Bang Daily. Let me spell it correctly. Junbang, Korea. Junbang, Korea. Sorry, one second. Let me find Junbang, Korea. Jung-Ang Daily, the Jung-Ang Daily media organization, right? They came and interviewed me on the Bahamas' first digital currency, the sand dollar. The world's first digital currency, actually, the sand dollar, is run here by the Central Bank of the Bahamas, and it's the world's first digital currency. And I have to explain to them it's different from a cryptocurrency, because all the sand dollar is really a representation of the Bahamian dollar in digital form. As you can put it on your phone, and you could, go into your food store and just scan your phone to whatever scan or payment scanner there is, and you can deduct it from your cryptocurrency, your Sand Dollar wallet. There are several providers out here that gives you a Sand Dollar wallet, but you can hold cryptocurrency and you can hold digital currency, and you can hold the actual digital currency as well. And that's important, not just the cryptocurrency, but the digital currency, the Bahamas Sand Dollar digital currency. You can hold that inside a wallet, inside your phone. I use SunCash myself. So yeah, I talked to them about that. They said that Korea is now looking for a digital currency. And they're trying to analyze, so they want to come and talk to our central bank officials and some of our other digital wallet providers to ask them how the system has really worked out here. And so you may see me, and I was kind of shocked. I was shocked because I thought it was going to be like a written interview. No, she brought her cameraman. We sat down for a recorded interview. And it's going to be on their YouTube and their television sometime at the end of next week. And it's finished editing, okay? Two lovely Korean girls, Jia Kim. I forgot the other lady's name. Her name is Kim as well, but she didn't say her last name. So Jia Kim, if you're listening out here, thank you for coming and interviewing me for the Jung Ang Daily. And I look forward to seeing the content when it's uploaded to Jung Ang Daily, to their YouTube and their web pages, okay? Yeah, they had a good time here, man. I talked to them about, what the Sand Dollar really is. It's just a digital representation of the Bahamian dollar. That's all it is. And it's the world's first. And I'm proud to say the Bahamas has the world's first digital currency. Our central bank did a lot of work trying to get it off the ground. I've been following that since we launched in one of our family islands, Exuma, about 2 years ago. And the adoption has been slow because, people are still getting used to the technology. It's weird having a lot of people really don't even have credit cards and debit cards here in the Bahamas. That's strange. That's strange. How can you not have a debit card? And that's one of the problems I'm running through with Caribbean Magazine. Plus, I do several contests as well. They're paid contests. And a lot of people don't have credit cards and debit cards. How are you people living? How are you people living? You don't have a debit card or a credit card. What are you doing? You don't have a bank account? Royal Bank and Scotia Bank should be in almost every English-speaking Caribbean country. And for the rest, it should have at least a city bank. You don't have a debit card and a credit card? I can understand a credit card. That's kind of different, but a debit card is almost standard with any bank account you get now. You get a debit card, man. Come on. How can you not pay for things online? How do you pay for Amazon? I know you guys order from Amazon. So how can you not have a credit card or debit card, man? And what are some of these banks doing in some of these Caribbean countries, man? You're not serving these people well. Your leaders cannot like you. Your leaders cannot like you. A debit card is essential to moving around in the world. How do you travel? Say, for example, you have to go from Barbados to Miami or Fort Lauderdale. How do you travel? What do you do? My God, man. That's terrible. That's terrible, man. You don't have a bank account. You don't have a debit card at least. That's standard stuff nowadays, man. You people got to get up to standard, man. You got to get in the game, man. You got to get in the game because we can't have Roosevelt Scare go and talk about science and technology, and you guys don't even have a damn debit card, man. That's embarrassing, And I could tell you the amount of times people ask me, "Oh, can I send you money through MoneyGram or Western Union, or can I send a direct wire to your bank account?" No, I don't want to be paid like that because I don't want the international authorities to be alerted to me. Next thing you know, I'm money laundering and all kind of stuff. No, I don't want that. No, get a debit card. If you don't have a debit card, find somebody who has one and pay for it, man. That's important. The world's moving forward, but other Caribbean, you guys need to get your game up, man. You guys need to get your game up. This is serious, man. The world is moving forward. You guys are being left behind. You guys are being left behind, man. You have a debit card? Really? A debit card? That's standard enough for any bank account. Royal Bank, First Caribbean, Scotia Bank, any commercial bank, Citibank, Bank of America, any bank will give you a debit card. You put your money on, you can pay for it and use it like a credit card. Come on, let's get serious, man. Let's get really serious here, man. And you guys aren't serious. Talking about you're going to send me a wire transfer. Who does that? Who does that now? Now I'm using Sand Dollar. I'm paying for stuff with Sand Dollar now. I'm going to my brochure and I'm putting my phone up to the scanner. I'm saying, take off my Sand Dollar account. That's the level I'm on now. Thanks to the Central Bank of the Bahamas. And you guys still don't even have a debit card, man. That's embarrassing, man. You guys got to get yourselves together, man. I'm talking about all you guys from Trinidad going straight to Bermuda. You guys need to get yourself together, man. I'm not being studio or elitist, but come on. Get on your leaders and tell them to get these banks and do some financial literacy education in some of these countries, man. You guys need to get up the standard. You guys are being left behind. So yeah, how did I go from FTX and this D3 conference in October to start around you guys by not having a debit card? That shows you how fluid I moved through this thing, right? Yeah. The last thing, and it's kind of like the standard thing now, tourism in the region needs to diversify. All right, we just can't have these resorts. These are all-inclusive resorts anymore. And they're kind of boring. All right, we need to develop religious tourism, cultural tourism, adventure tourism, all the other tourisms on the other side, on the periphery, not just this sunset and sea all-inclusive resort tourism. I'm quite certain there's a lot of things inside some of your countries that tourists can really take advantage of. Right now I'm seeing tourists come over what we call over the hill, over from the downtown area, the tourist area, over into some inner cities. They want to see what the rest of us live like. And I don't blame them, man. I don't blame them. Come and take a look. Take a look and see what our leaders have been doing us. Take a look at it, man. It's important. Okay? Because when I visit a place, I told them straight and plain, hey, don't just take me to the pretty parts, take me to the hood. I want to see the hood. I want to see the way the rest of the people live. I want to see what the average person lives like in Barbados, in Trinidad, in Miami, in China. But don't forget, I went to China when I saw the hood. I saw the hood in Wuhan. I saw the concrete jungles and the people just on the side of the road, making mud pies. I seen that with my own eyes. I've seen that. I lived in London. I've lived in Miami as well. I saw the hoods there. I went there, took it on to myself to take a look to see how the rest of those people live, and not just the rich city parts, the pretty parts where they want you to see. I want to see how people live. I want to be immersed in the culture. Same thing about Barbados. I got to a trip I had in Barbados 2 years ago, and I told the taxi driver, I was with a group of people, I said, something, take me to the regular part, man. Of course, the people who were with me, they were kind of, we don't go to the regular part. I was with a bunch of girls, right? But still, I asked to go to the regular part because I want to see. Take me to the regular part, man. Because they want to, those girls, they want to party. They want to have fun. They want to dissipate. And they want to do whatever it is they want to do. But I want to see what the people look like, man. I want to see the regular folks. Don't just show me the pretty part. And Barbados is beautiful, actually. That coastline, their rich areas, their posh areas, goes for miles, man. They have beautiful homes and beautiful marinas. I saw where Oprah Winfrey has a house in Barbados. It's a real beautiful estate. Yeah. I want to go back to Barbados as well. Don't mind me talking smack about me and Martha. I don't have any problem with her. Just that sometimes her talks doesn't jive with what she actually said she's going to do. But I really encourage her to continue on with pushing these developed countries and these international agencies to get on the ball, to pick up speed and skill, and understand what the woman's talking about. Understand what she's talking about. We need flexibility in the lending arrangements for these developing nations. Because right now, Barbados itself, they're under an IMF program. And she knows how difficult it is to pull the country out of these kinds of things when you have, the IMF around your neck. Okay? And you have these loans on your back. So I encourage you to push on for Barbados, man. Continue pushing them. And don't stop until you actually get a good sizable chunk of them really moving forward in your direction, Miss Motley. That's really important, man. Because they don't care. First of all, I think it's arrogance and ignorance. They don't even know what you're talking about, Miss Motley. It's true. They don't know what you're talking about. They may listen to you, they may give you lip service, but they really don't understand what you're talking about, man. So what you want is to change our lending agreements, our lending arrangements? Are you crazy? Who the hell is she? Who the hell are you, Miss Motley? Who the hell are you? I also follow entertainment news as well. I don't know if you guys know what this rapper called Remy Ma. Apparently her and her husband, Papoose, they're going through a rough time as it is right now. Remy Ma was locked up for several years, and Papoose, her husband, used to visit her every year on his own nickel and dime. But apparently now she's leaving Papoose for one of her artists. She manages artists as well. It's called Easy the Block Captain. And the guy really is ugly as a muck, right? So she's leaving her husband, and she's been seen going out on dates with this guy. And actually, the two guys, Papoose, her husband, and this guy, Easy the Block Captain, they actually got into a physical altercation before over Miss Remy Ma. I just got to show you how to break your heart, you know. Don't put anyone on a pedestal, man. And Papoose talked about how he's a visitor every day while she was in prison, but they were married. He's a visitor every day while she was in prison on his own nickel and dime when he couldn't even afford it. This is what she does him. She goes and she finds a liaison with, an alleged liaison with one of her artists who she's supposed to be mentoring. Now, it may just be innocent, may not be nothing behind it, right? May not be nothing behind it, because sometimes these women, they go nuts sometimes. When they have these friends they can't shake. They want to test your manhood. But I'll tell you something, knocking the guy out a few months back didn't help the situation, Papoose. You probably only raised sympathy for him in her eyes. I know that. Sometimes you just gotta let it be, man. Sometimes they change their minds. She may not be in love with you anymore, man. That's sad, isn't it? It happens. I know it hurts. It must suck. But yeah, you gotta move past that, man. You gotta find someone else. Now I've been hurt, now I need another lover. That's the old Snow song, remember that? Girl, I've been hurt, now I need another lover. You are no girl, I've been hurt. Yeah, I can play that song for you right now, actually. Let me let you listen to that. Girl, I've been hurt, now I need another lover. This is for Papoose and Remy Ma. Let me share my sound. So I love this song, actually. Computer audio. Let's go to that. Girl, I've been hurt. There's some 90s music here for you kids, you kiddies there. Girl, I've been hurt. Girl, I've been hurt. I don't want to copyright to this music.
You said there won't be no other love but me. But girl, I know much better. I'm no fool. You've been playing games on me. Come here, tell me what you're thinking of. Is it real? Have you found another love? How long must we play this masquerade? Girl, I've been hurt, now I need another lover. You are no girl, I've been hurt, now I need another lover.
Oh, let's stop that. That's enough of that right there. Yeah, it's the Immortal Snow. Everyone was freaked out when they saw this white guy could sing reggae jam just like that. And that was a good melody, Snow. He dropped off after the 90s, but still, though, that's an iconic song, man. Maybe you may know his other song, Informer. Yeah. Yeah. He's from Canada, actually. He's a Canadian artist, and he knows the Caribbean rhythms and the Jamaican rhythms. And so, yeah. So I just want to tell Poo-Poos to hang on, man. You know, sometimes it happens, you know. Sometimes you get your heart broken. Sometimes God does this to you to test you. To test you, see if you love the gift more than you love him. If you love the gift more than you love him, he's always going to take the gift from you, man. And if you get your heart, send it back to him. There's a test. And you got to pass the test, not with her. You have to pass the test with the maker upstairs. And then he will give you your heart's desire. He will send it back to you. Just like how Abraham took Isaac up to the mount. I want to test you, see if you actually would execute your son. Then I will send the ram in his place. When I stop you right there before you actually go through with it, I will stop you right there. I'll put a ram in your place. And as you know the rest of the story, the ram was in the bush and they sacrificed the lamb. And Isaac was saved. And you could have Jacob and Esau. And now we have the nation of Israel. And now we have the Bible stories for the rest of us to benefit from and to listen to. I listened to T.D. Jakes this morning. Not T.D. Jakes, but I think his one of his pastors, Joel Tudman. You know, he spoke about, you know, the tests with Abraham and Isaac. And that was from the Bible study on Wednesday. No, that's my ritual. I listen to that every Friday morning. I listen to the Wednesday Bible study every Friday morning when I'm putting up my stories for Caribbean Magazine Plus. And every Tuesday night, I listen to the Sunday sermon. And I'm putting up my stories for Caribbean Magazine Plus as well. Okay, so every Tuesday and Friday we publish. So I listen to it, but I'm putting up my stories because it helps me to soothe myself and get myself over the day. So yeah. So just to recap what we talked about today, man. We talked about Mia Mottley at the UN General Assembly for the 78th UN General Assembly, sorry. And he encouraged these developed countries and these international financial agencies to pick up speed with regard to how they approach developing countries and change the financial model. for developing states to participate more and to get more out of it and be more sensitive towards them. We also talk about the CARICOM chair, Roosevelt Scarrett, the week before at the G77 plus China meeting in Havana, Cuba, where he talked about encouraging participation in science and technology. You know, that's important. We also talk about my friend, Kwame McPherson, the Commonwealth Secretariat's Short Story Prize winner for 2023, with his story Okoki. He's going to Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen Consort. And they're going to talk about literary needs in the Caribbean and the wider Commonwealth. So please, I just want to encourage my friend Kwame McPherson as he goes to meet with the royals. And I really want to wish him a good trip. It's going to happen in November. It's a ways off, but he's going there. And that's a good trip for him, man. I'm so proud of him. And we also have, you know, cryptocurrency getting a new facelift after the FTX debacle. We're having this D3 conference here in the Bahamas, hosted by this cryptocurrency grouping called FinoServe. And they're going to talk about not about cryptocurrency itself. They're going to talk about blockchain development, the actual technology that underpins the cryptocurrency. We keep forgetting that. All right. And then we also talk about, you know, the Caribbean nations changing our tourism focus from the resort and all-inclusive resort model that we have to more inclusive tourism, with religious tourism, adventure tourism, cultural tourism, and things of that nature. Okay. We need to develop the tourism model here. Because they were still in Islam. We don't even have a tourism season anymore, man. People are coming year-round now, man. You know, this summer was slam for the Bahamas and slam for most of the Caribbean as well. We never used to see tourists coming in droves in August, July, August, in September during the summer months. But now we have tourists coming year-round, man. It's been like that. It's growing, man. So I can imagine how Thanksgiving and how Christmas is going to look. We're probably going to get double of that. You know, because we're not in the revenge tourism anymore, but people still want to travel. That's that pent-up demand. People want to get out there and they want to see the rest of the world. And I want to thank God for them coming and choosing the Bahamas and choosing the Caribbean. But we have to give them something to actually come to, man. We have to let them explore this country or these countries. We can't just keep them on a resort, all-inclusive resort where they just go from their hotel room to the pool to the beach and to the cabana. That's not a vacation. That's not exploring the country. You know, we need to get them involved in what we have to offer here, man. We need to have more events. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me again for another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yari Arvin Camp. We're going to have another discussion on Sunday. I'm going to upload that video on Sunday as well. I'm going to have my friend on, Vaughn Miller. We're going to talk about a whole wide range of issues. So, yeah, we'll be on the lookout for that. So, I want to upload that on Sunday. So, take a look at that when we upload that. So I just want to thank you for joining me again for another LimeVibe Live podcast. And if you have not done so, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. There's also a donate link inside the description. Okay? There's the donate link inside the description that you can give anything to the LimeVibe Live podcast if you wish to. So please, I encourage you guys to like, share, and subscribe as we get out of here tonight. Now, my camera's still acting fuzzy tonight. So I appreciate you sticking with me tonight. So I'll see you guys again. I'm going to get this thing sorted out once and for all. Okay. So thank you once again. Let's get out of here. Let me share my screen, share audio. Let's rock and roll.